Hey music fans and music makers, Ari Koinuma here. Welcome back to my channel. For today's episode of the Power of Music show, I wanted to listen with you one of my recent favorites. I played this song many times and I got to see him twice play live in the last couple of months. It's a young up and coming talent based out of Los Angeles, Vincent Lima, and the song is Orpheus. He is one of those people who are blessed with the kind of emotive voice that he could just sing a phone book and we will all feel something, that sort of thing. But that being said, as a singer-songwriter, he is clearly emerging as somebody with strong voice. I mean, literally and figuratively speaking, somebody who has a distinct offering in the sea of singer-songwriters out there. Somebody who has something to say and make us feel something with him. And I value that very much. And I can't wait to see how his career develops. But anyway, one of the standard tracks is Orpheus. So today I thought we will listen to it and then I will kind of make my observations about what I'm hearing in this particular track. So here we go.
How do you know which time might be the last? What I would give just to see you again. I'd walk to the depths of a world down below and demand to get back with some circumstance, though I still remember.
Alright, so right off the bat, again, he's the piano balladeer type with very somber chord progression, and that the constant eighth notes on the right hand gives you this feeling of this incessant feeling, right? Something is nagging this character going, oh yeah, this is being, bothering me kind of vibe. So the verse part has these 4 chords. It's actually 3 chords, but 4 chord progression. Now listen to that. It just has such a sense of resignation, doesn't it? It goes from A minor to C and then F and back to C. And I think this coming back to C at the end, this gives this sense that there's certain finality to this particular progression. It's just like, yeah, that sort of thing. And I think his words and melody perfectly match the feelings of the harmony. And I don't know his writing sort of method of process. When I write songs, I usually start with guitar parts and riffs and chord progressions, and then after that I kind of listen to it and go, what do you want to say when you grow up to be a grown-up song, right? This chord progression by itself is, although very simple, very emotive in terms of conjuring the feelings, and then what he stacks on top of that is perfectly in alignment with the foundation of these chords.
Remember the last look of hope in your eyes. Oh, I wish I had stayed just a little while. But
so notice in that pre-chorus section, his melody went up a notch to a different range, right? And then it's gonna go up again in the chorus. It's a very sort of a tried and true songwriting approach, is to start low and then go higher. Now listen to how the chorus melody goes.
Open the door and I went down the stairs. I turned back one last time just to prove you were there. You said if you can see me, it's all in your head. But it feels real to me now, it felt real to me then.
Oh, that chorus is just such emotional, intense thing, and of course it's the highest part of the song. But even among that chorus and melody, listen to how that goes. But I opened the door and I went down the stairs. I turned back one last time just to prove you were there. You said if you can see me, it's all in your head. But it feels real to me now, it felt real to me then. So notice that if is like the highest note in this song, and the word if is just a special word in English language. You know, it just has such a charged feeling, because if is about that longing. If is about what if, like what if it was different, right? That there's that energy contained in that word, and then to put that at the very highest note, right? You said if you can see me. That's a really good sort of a songwriting trop there. It shows maturity to be able to write line like that and match it with lyrics. I mean, again, I don't know how his songwriting method is, but it's very well done. It just that line just forms the perfect climax to the song. Now notice the chord progression in this chorus. It's very similar to the verse, which keeps the consistency going and the mood stays the same, but then there is one subtle but important difference. It goes so the fourth chord is missing. And notice how open-ended this feels all of a sudden, right? If you come on to here, then you're like, oh, it was just kind of like resigned, just given up, right? Whereas in the chorus, it's just like, oh, just it lifts up and then just projects that longing to the listener. And I think it's really interesting because if anything, I would imagine that it might be, how should I say, easier to have structurally have the open-endedness in the verse and then have the chorus deliver a little bit more finality. But in this song, it works perfectly well the other way, in that the verse is about oh, and then the chorus is about but if, right? And that sort of emotional content is right there from the chorus. Okay, I'm gonna skip a little bit ahead to towards the end of the second verse.
How do you know which memories to save? Like the very last footprint that Orpheus made. Cause the last ray of sun made Eurydice cold. And did she know, did she know, did she know, did she know? I still remember.
That repetition right there. In my mind, repetition is a compositional device that sometimes is not used intentionally enough, in that repetition creates a sense of familiarity, it creates a sense of constantness. But when you create repetition like that in terms of the words in the middle of otherwise storytelling, repetition all of a sudden becomes a device for creating emphasis, right? Did she know? Did she know? Did she know? It's like this, again, nagging thought, a strong doubt, key question in this song. The one that the character just can't stop thinking about. And that's interested in this important part towards the second half of the second verse, where the story has been told, and really the character is coming to digging deeper into the heart of the story, so to speak, and you use repetition to emphasize that. Alright, let's listen to the bridge next.
I knew how it'd feel back then. I wouldn't take another step. I'd hold the moment till the end, but everything ends. Everything ends. But I opened the door and I went down the stairs.
So that's a low point in the song. You kind of build the song up to the second chorus, and then after that, the bridge is. This is a common approach, but bridge is a time to kind of bring up, bring down the energy level and go sparse. The songs are, especially arrangement and production, is all about contrast in terms of the thickness, right? The thicker parts feel thick because they are followed or preceded or followed by spare parts, and you often want to start songs with the minimum so that the song has somewhere to go, and then even after somewhere you go, perhaps sometimes you just keep going bigger and bigger, but one of the common approach is to bring it back down so that you can push it for the final climax that feels big because it's again preceded by something that is lower energy. So here's the chord progression of the bridge here. So this time it starts with a different chord, but it's similar. But then it goes to this chord, which is a G, and then back to A minor, which is a key. So when this one has, again, a sense of finality to it, but it's sadder, right? And then what he does, after repeating that a few times for the bridge, at the end of the bridge, like that. So he delays going to that home key of A minor, and that leads us the sense of arrival to the final chorus. And then notice that again the phrase there is repeated: everything ends, everything ends. So he's using again repetition as a device to emphasize again. And the final chorus.
In the door and I went down the stairs. I turned back one last time just to prove you were there. You said if you can see me, it's all in your head. But it feels real to me now. It felt real to me then. It was real to me now. It felt real to me then.
So there, he put the thick vocals, but then dropped the band so that the starkness of the final chorus can be just really, really felt. And then it's not a rock and roll song, but it's just a nice dramatic moment when the drum comes in, boom, in the middle of it to sort of create the final drama before bringing it back down for that somber, stark ending, which is kind of a signature move of Vincent's to do that. He does that in other songs as well. it's a device that works really well for him, although if it becomes a little too well used, I can see it being a little bit predictable, formulaic, but it certainly works in this song. Something else I want to say about Vincent is that, again, I think he is blessed with a particular voice that is well suited for doing particular thing, and voice of the singer is something to be really incorporated into the work of songwriter, in that you want to, well, it depends on the singer, but not all singers are capable of expressing everything, right? There are certain voice types that are well suited for certain types of material. And speaking from my personal experience, where I've written songs that I can't make it sound good, I hear it in my head, but I am just not that singer. So I wouldn't take it for granted that Vincent writes these beautiful songs that sounds just perfect with his voice. I know he's been writing for quite some time, and I think he's really, again, developing his voice and maturity as a songwriter, and to maximize the emotional punch or maximize the expressive quality of his songs or his voice, to write the right kind of songs, and while being authentic to who he is as a person and as a artist. He writes songs that are well suited for his voice, and it takes time to be able to do that. It takes time to figure out, okay, so what kind of character persona can I play when I'm delivering my music, which is true to me, but also it is a character delivering a particular message, feeling, or story in the context of the song. It takes a while for most artists, even if that's done before the public notice. But Vincent's really figuring out what his identity, what his sort of essence is as an artist. And I think this song is one of the times when it's really coming through in a way that's perhaps like a notch or two stronger than some of the other songs. The other songs are great too, but there's something about this song that just like comes across like really clearly, strongly, and that's not something you can create at will every single song. Although I think his songwriting standards is very high, but then while you're trying, there will be, again, some songs that just kind of pokes its head up as something that is truly representative, or something that really hits the high notes, and come out and say, hey, I am your signature song, or I represent what is the truest and deepest about you as an artist. And I think Vincent arrived with this song, and as well as perhaps some of the other songs too, but this is definitely one of them. Alright, that's all I have for you today. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on what I make out of this beautiful song that is Orpheus by Vincent Lima. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, because that will help me keep going with my channel. And I'll see you again in the next video soon. Thank you.